now. Right now. Need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, right now. First I pull up, hop out. Valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now. Yeah, I'm two up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us.
Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
I think when you watch him play, because you've heard all the different buzzwords about him being a warrior and what a battler he is, go back to the Rose Bowl game against Georgia his last year at Oklahoma. They got beat in, double overtime, a thriller. But he played despite the flu and still put up big-time numbers and almost rallied his team to a victory.
Yeah, big-time numbers. Also had a receiving touchdown in that game as well.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Here we go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield drops it underneath to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Ravens have got it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Ian Thomas, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A first down carry by Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
All right, here we go. Green, 39, green.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
All right, here we go.
On second down, Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Oh, look at the juke. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches.
Let's give plenty of credit to the defense there. They stuffed them on second and short. But if you're the offense, why would you change what you're doing? You got to hold another down to pick it up, and maybe even a fourth if you so choose.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that is incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Garoppolo now. Incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
He's going to get it running right. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal. They're going with Chubb, fighting him off. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the LA Rams. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done
Jarvis Landry. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 75 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now McManus for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's taken down back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mayfield to throw it. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Now Landry. Oh, nice move. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and it's now 21-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here come the Cowboys. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They go to Elliott again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Third and long for Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Landry now on the return. Landry, agile footwork. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the...
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now this time, Garoppolo will throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Over the middle, it's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk from 6 yards away. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. He gets this out to Foster on the right side. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Garoppolo looking to throw. Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
It is just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Baltimore, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.